All right, class, it's another week in our class on classroom technology, October 2nd through the 7th, and we are talking about one-to-one learning this week. So the activities for this week include readings, and you'll read textbook chapter 6, and this technology is available and student-centered learning in South Dakota. And this is actually a manuscript that I have yet to publish. I'm submitting it to somewhere to be published pretty soon. And so, but it's, again, it represents that new information from that survey about technologies available in classrooms and discusses what technologies are available in those classrooms. And then, of course, you've got Chapter 6 again in the textbook. So those are the things to pin on this week. And then Tech Talk videos. So we've got a couple that are about, let's see, Plan Book and Enjoy Reading. So Planbook is a nice tool that a lot of teachers use for their planning and lesson planning in particular. And then also Enjoy Reading, which is a nice extension that makes reading online a lot easier. So those might be very useful to understand and know about. There are other tools out there as well that help planning and also help to clear up a web page for easy reading, but those are some good tools to learn about. And then there's a discussion this week in D2L, and this is a one-to-one classroom or one-to-one learning discussion. And so a one-to-one classroom allows activities and learning experiences that are not possible without a device for each student. What are the benefits of having one device per student, such as tablets or laptop computers, in a classroom, as opposed to having several devices in the classroom, but not enough for each student? So you kind of have to think about drawing upon the readings and your own experiences to discuss this. What do you think is a benefits to having one device per student versus just a bunch of devices, but not all students have one? And also it says that you could also discuss potential drawbacks of having a one-to-one classroom. So there are potential drawbacks for sure. And then finally, the one-to-one learning experience is due. And remember, this is the assignment where you have to experience some kind of one-to-one lesson in your classroom. And remember not to use things like Kahoot, Socrative, Poll Everywhere, or Plickers for this experience. Those are classroom response systems, and we're going to do a unit on classroom response systems later. And so this one-to-one experience is not going to use those, but it's going to be an experience where every student has a device and they interact in some way. Remember, if you have a school that's concerned maybe about privacy of students or something like that, you can also send the video file up right through D2L, and only I will view it, and then I'll get rid of it after that. Or you can use WeTransfer to send a large video file if it might not fit in the D2L, and if there's a problem with uploading it to D2L, just let me know and we can work it out an alternative that doesn't put the video file online. But for students who are not classroom teachers, you can find a group to present to of at least 2 students and set it up so that there is a one-to-one situation, and then present a lesson to them and record it. And I just need the recording. I don't need any additional paperwork or lesson plan or anything like that. I just need to watch the recording. Also, if you are local or close by to Aberdeen, then I can come and view your class. And I've actually already viewed one that went very well. And I have a chance to review a couple of others here in town, which will be nice. It's just a matter of scheduling it, though, and working out schedules. So, but if I can't come, then you can always record it as well. So I think that's about it for the assignment. It just requires you to do some one-to-one things. If you do have some questions, though, about what to do, or if you have an idea that you want to run by me, just send me an email, and I can give you a little feedback on it and say yes or no, or do this and a little bit more, or whatever it is, so that you can get a little feedback before you go forth and do your assignment. I think that's it for the assignment. I did want to just share a little bit about one way to think about this idea. And let me switch these around here. So as one of the things that we mentioned in our article that you read last week was this gradual release of responsibility model or framework for using iPads. And iPads is, could be anything. Could be any one-to-one device really this framework works for. And so the model goes like this. Basically, you introduce the concept without the app, and whatever the concept is that students are supposed to learn or whatever directions they're supposed to know, you do it without the technology in the way, right? When it's not maybe in the student's hands. And then when you do get onto the app, the teacher explains then models using the app. So this is kind of like an I do, we do, you do type of a model as well. And it's a good way to think about your project and one-to-one learning in your classroom. So first you're going to explain, then model using the app and show what to do. And you'll probably show some particular points with the app, like maybe how to do this or that if you want to. And then there will be guided practice with the app. So what you might do then next is you might have students go ahead and follow along with you as you guide them in using the app and give them a little bit of feedback saying, okay, well, you forgot this one or you did a good job on this one. And then finally, independent practice. And that means that students are sent forth or they are allowed to go forth and work on the project by themselves and you just bounce around as a teacher to help them. This is a good way of thinking of one-to-one learning in the classroom. Introducing the concept without the app or without the laptop or whatever it is. Then the teacher explains and models how it's to be used, and that could be done on a smart board up on the screen, so that all can see. And then guided practice with the app, allowing students to then go ahead and use the app and start to do the project or the lesson, whatever it is. And then independent practice. And that's when students are able to do their own independent work. So guided practice with the app is different than independent practice in that you have students who kind of follow along with you as you show them the basics, and then independent practice is when they are allowed to do what they want to do. Now this model will be different for different ages of people. You might have more independent practice for those who are more mature and more understanding and more knowledgeable of the tools that you're using. And you might have less of it if you have younger students who maybe aren't as understanding or knowledgeable about the app. So that's the general model. It's a good way of thinking about your one-to-one lesson too. The gradual release of responsibility model. Okay. Well, I think that's about it for this week. So good luck, and good luck finishing the one-to-one classroom assignment.